Hello there. I'm Jerry Bartell, and here are Gay, Jingle, and Candy, who join me in acting out stories old and new when it's playtime. Did you ever have someone say to you, "Look for trouble, you're sure to find it"? Well, LappeLokie wasn't even looking when trouble found him. And what happened then is what you'll hear in just a moment. LappeLokie was minding his own business, namely peddling. From town to town he traveled, set up his stand wherever there was a crowd, and sold his wares. Saucepans, spools of thread, a lotion guaranteed to remove freckles or your money back, if you could find LappeLokie. Oil for squeaky gates, that sort of thing. Traveling as he did, I don't suppose it's strange that eventually he should return to the town where he was born. His parents were long since dead, but he had a sister, SallyLokie, and he thought since night was coming on, he might as well stop over with her till morning. SallyLokie was none too happy to see him. Years of living alone hadn't sweetened her disposition any, and she particularly wasted no love on her peddler brother. LappeLokie should have looked before he sat, because, see what's on the chair. Sally's chickens haven't been laying so well. These are all the eggs she found today, but they're enough to get LappeLokie in trouble. Oh, dear. Well, LappeLokie's made quite a mess of that. Oh, dear, how can he be so clumsy? Eggs smashed, milk all over the floor. SallyLokie's temper is rising, and so is the broom. This is no place for Lappy. Get out, you penny-pinching puddin'-head! I want none of the likes of you! No place for him to sleep now but a haystack in the barn. Well, hello. Who are you?
Everybody knows me. I'm Trouble.
A soldier marches off to war, the battle sounds grow louder. He puts his musket up to fire. He hasn't any powder. That's trouble, that's trouble. Oh, that's trouble. A man goes up atop his roof to fix the weather vane. The ladder falls, he can't get down. Then it begins to rain. That's trouble, that's trouble. Oh, whoa, that's trouble. Young Willie's hungry, so he steals a pie from Mother's baking. His father sees him eating it. Oh, and now his seat is aching. That's trouble, that's trouble. Oh, there's nothing quite so troublesome as plain old-fashioned trouble. Well, it isn't long before LappeLokie learns how it feels to have trouble dogging his heels. Used to be he could find his way all over the countryside without trouble. But now he's forever getting lost and ending up in some alley that goes nowhere. Hasn't the faintest idea where he is, but Trouble knows. He's in trouble. Dogs that used to lick his hand now snap and snarl at him, and he doesn't know why, but Trouble knows. But worst of all, Lappy's not making any sales. Liniment for your horses, tobacco for your pipe, perfume for your sweetheart. Nobody wants to buy anything. He can't understand it. But Trouble can. This is his idea of a good time. Enough's enough. And LappeLokie's had his fill. A man should be able to pick the company he keeps. He didn't pick trouble, and he's going to the governor to complain. This is the governor. He's very important. and he's very busy. Well, well, what is it? What is it? But Trouble's not going to let LappeLokie complain. He's jerking the rug from under Lappy's feet. There goes Lappy, and the governor, too. They're mixed up on the floor, and you can't tell where Lappy ends and the governor begins. How it tickles Trouble's funny bone. But the governor's not at all amused. He gathers himself together, he fusses, he fumes, he rants, he raves, and he puts Lappy in jail. This is the last straw. Curse the day that Trouble picked him to follow. But maybe Trouble's not such a bad fella after all. Because, see here, he's taking the keys from the jailer and letting Lappy out. And just to show his heart's in the right place, Trouble has another surprise for LappeLokie. He leads the peddler to a secret place in a stone wall where Trouble saw robbers hiding their loot. Oh, there's enough money here to last LappeLokie a lifetime and to tie him for a lifetime to Trouble, because Trouble always follows stolen money. See? Trouble isn't so bad. Think of all the fun we'll have with all that money. Into the tunnel Lappy goes again. He's never before got so much gold for so little effort. Still, the bags are heavy, and he comes up puffing. He says to Trouble, "If you're such a good friend of mine, the least you could do is help me."
Fair enough.
But the peddler isn't the fool I took him for, because there's Trouble locked away where he can't trouble anyone. And LappeLokie's free to enjoy his new wealth. Well, like a good many folks who suddenly get more money than they ever had before, LappeLokie has to show off before the people who knew him when he was poor. First, he goes to see his sister Sally. He tells her how Trouble made him rich, and how he got rid of Trouble by locking him in the stone wall. And then grandly, he pays her for the eggs he broke and the milk he spilled. What do you suppose she thinks?
If Trouble can do that for my worthless brother, it can do as much for me.
So she goes looking for Trouble. She finds him all right, and is mighty happy to have someone to follow around again. Trouble loses no time in getting to work. Sally stubs her toe, falls down, breaks her arm. Oh, that heartless Trouble has no sympathy for her. Then, to add insult to injury, LappeLokie discovers that she's lost all her money. And what a big joke that is to Trouble. When she gets home again, tired, hungry, aching, and much disgusted with Trouble's company, he's arranged another little surprise for her. The goats have got into the house, and, well, goats just aren't supposed to get into the house. This is the most fun Trouble's had since he tripped up LappeLokie and the governor. But LappeLokie isn't one to put up with a bad bargain forever. And she's a clever one, too, that LappeLokie. So she hides how she really feels and says to Trouble,
Was it really you who let the goats in? But you were with me all the time.
Look at that foolish Trouble. How he loves to boast of his talents.
Not quite all the time. I went and got back so fast that you didn't even miss me. Fancy that. Tell me, Trouble, is it true what I've heard, that you can go anywhere in the world, could even get into this box? How silly. Of course you can get into that box. Just watch him. He's in, and LappeLokie has a trick or two of her own. There, he's all boxed up, which is no more than he deserves, I'm sure you'll agree. But LappeLokie isn't satisfied yet. She's taking no chances of Trouble bothering her again. She's putting the box into the wall because she's learned that it's better to live in poverty without trouble than to live with trouble in the hope of wealth. Sally Loki hasn't been troubled by trouble since. But I know he must have gotten out of the box and out of the wall, too, because, well, haven't you been in trouble lately?